Thank you all for attending the seminar today. If you don't know who I am, I'm Steve Dondero. I am with the Learning and Development Group in the Piedmont region. If we can go around the room and introduce ourselves and where we're from.
Okay, I'm Daryl Burke. I'm from here in Atlanta.
Perfect.
Greg Whitmire, Atlanta region also.
Pleasure to meet you both. Hey guys, got a quick question. If you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
I think mine would be teleportation so that I could be wherever I needed or wanted to be instantly.
That could be very helpful, especially if it was like time for a lottery, the $1 million lottery, right? How about you, Daryl?
I think being able to read minds, because that way I would think it would help with a lot of interactions that we have.
It certainly would.
Yeah.
It certainly would. Tell me if you can pick up on anything. That might be a little scary.
Okay.
Mine is flying. I think it sounds great. I think that freedom sounds awesome. But, you know, Daryl, when you talk about reading minds, that might actually really be a wonderful superpower in the world of coaching, learning, and development.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What we're going to be discussing today is how you communicate one-on-one with your teammates. Because the team members need to know where they stand, they need to know where you stand, and to remove any of that corporate speak that may or may not be real.
Good.
So I'm going to be a scribe today. So I'm going to be taking the pen and writing down some information. And when you hear the word coach, Daryl, what are some of the things that you think about that come to mind when you hear being a coach?
I hope that with my reps, that me being as a coach, I'm being a good mentor.
Okay,
I
perfect.
think that's what ultimately we want to do, because we, as managers, we have the responsibility of the development of our reps being not only good sales and customer service people, but also good corporate individuals.
Corporate individual, like a good corporate citizen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got you on that. I totally understand the direction that you're thinking.
Yeah.
What we're hoping is that the next step of this process is going to give you just a few more tools to make the process of coaching a little bit more structured.
Okay.
And what we want to coach towards can be a lot different than what you might have been coaching towards before. You know, in so many cases, all people think of are numbers. We're going to coach towards those metrics. And that's great if that's a part of it. But what other points, what other characteristics and traits might you want to start coaching towards?
Well, I think that what I struggle with is getting away from coaching to just the numbers, but coaching to how the numbers get attained. And the behaviors that my reps are exhibiting that can be changed so that the result is the numbers, I think.
So if you have a rep that you're discussing behaviors and you're coaching towards those and you're able to give something that's very specific, what do you think the result will be for them?
Well, there's accountability, because I think that if we're going to be mentoring, then we have to make sure that there's open and honest communications, and so that they look at what I'm trying to help them achieve is not punitive. It's more of, again, for their development, to help them become even better at what they do, because there's self-satisfaction in that.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, we all work. We might as well enjoy what we do.
Mm-hmm.
And what else do you think would be good?
Well, I think that we have to feel a sense of purpose in what we do. We have to make sure that we are enjoying it, but we have to go to some sort of common goal. Otherwise, it's a hobby.
Mediocrity.
True. Yep.
You know, sometimes we just need to put a little fire under somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And what we hope that as we're looking at something that's going to give you the specific, actionable, and measurable tool, when you have these one-on-one meetings
Mhm.
that might be able to light that fire. Now, this is your one-on-one coaching log.
Mhm.
This is something that your team member will fill out themselves. Why do you think we ask them to fill it out as opposed to you filling it out?
Certainly so that any questions that I have or that are coming out in the field, that they don't get overlooked when we come to our meeting time.
Perfect. We do ask that in order to make this very consistent, that it's set up at the same time every week for a specific amount of time. So again, you're hearing that word specific. So a lot of preparation has to come in on both your end and on their end. And when we say pick a topic, one topic, we're going to talk about what the strength is. Because, hey, they're on your team. They're probably doing something really well. And this might fall under,
Those practices.
yeah, because if they have a strength that maybe another team member doesn't have, what do you think can happen with that person that has the strength to the other teammate?
Well, then they may become a mentor, and so it may lead to peer-to-peer coaching.
Perfect. That's exactly what we want to happen. We want there to be the trust circle, because what's going on in the one-on-one conversation is private and personal, as these sheets are.
Mhm.
But if there is a best practice, if there is a behavior that somebody has that another team member might need a little bit of helping with, why not pair them up?
Mhm.
Get the team speaking the same speak,
Mhm.
thinking the same way.
Mhm.
So on that sheet, when they're looking at the strength, and then they're going to have to look at the opportunity, again, we need to look at what's going to be specific, actionable. How are we going to put this into action? Are we going to have them work with a team member?
Mhm.
And measurable. What do you think measurable is going to mean when we're looking at this?
I think when you put a timeline on performance improvement, that creates a sense of I'm going to be watching as a manager, but there's also this sense of accountability that they know, that the rep knows that this is where they need to attain. So there is accountability on both. I'm accountable for inspecting. They're accountable for the performance. And if it's specific and actionable, that just completes the entire circle, I think. And it becomes something that can easily be done.
Absolutely. So now we're taking care of you.
Mm-hmm.
You're being involved in this. We're taking care of your team member. What do you think that might mean to Avis budget?
Well, I think that if we are being very focused on performance, and we're being focused on improving performance, then that's going to just relay itself into better customer experience.
You just hit the nail on the head. What does it mean to our customers? Because without happy customers, why are we here?
Right.
So that whole trifecta, the employee and you are happy, the company's happy, and most importantly, the customer is happy. Why wouldn't we all enjoy our jobs that much more? The performance is just going to be naturally driven towards that. Well, that's how we're going to be looking at one-on-one coaching. Give me an idea of some of the takeaways from today's session on how you're going to be implementing on Monday this one-on-one coaching system.
I think for me, it's the consistency with using the log. In that way, I can be sure that I'm having the same level of conversations with each one of my reps, so they're not all over the board, and that they're more focused on performance as opposed to other things that can be brought in from the outside that can derail a conversation.
So consistency
Mm-hmm.
anything else maybe that's gonna hit you?
Well, it also gives me a structure around the conversation, so it's not, going into the conversation is not as daunting. At least I feel like I would be better prepared for that conversation, and I would hope, as this moves on, my rep would be better prepared when they come in as well.
And going back to being able to read people's minds, doesn't it take that off the table? Because now you're having a trusted dialogue.
Mhm.
Now you're having that shared idea.
Mhm.
You're going back and forth and hopefully being able to take that team member even further.
Yeah, right.
So, thank you so much. When you need me, remember I'm always going to be around. I'm always here as a resource. I'll be sending out the PowerPoint that matches up with this presentation. It will have all of my contact information. Please know, I'm a phone call or email away. Looking forward to continue working with you all. Thank you
Great.
so much.
Thank you.